Nigeria has expanded its footprint in the global debt market, with the federal government planning to issue a new international Sukuk, even as it also conducts an NTB auction and also the issuance of a fresh Eurobond today, about $2.2 billion. The move signals a broader strategy to diversify funding sources and strengthen Nigeria's fiscal debt management framework in line with ongoing economic reforms. Join us now to discuss. We have Akbaro Putu, a chief dealer at Lotus Bank. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Thank you for having us on the program, Ladi.
Fantastic. So, talk to me about this strategic objective here. You know, Nigeria is hoping to achieve by issuing an international Sukuk bond. That's in the offing at this point. But today, we've issued a new Eurobond. That's about $2.2 billion. Talk to us about what's playing out so far.
Okay, so we had news recently today that they're going to issue the Eurobond. It's about $2.2 billion, and that's actually it's very good for investors because we expect that the yields are actually going to close really high, around 9%, and this will actually put some calmness in the market and boost investor confidence. We expect that the Eurobond will be around, there are two issuances actually on this Eurobond paper. It's going to be a 10 years and a 20-year paper. So we expect that the 10-year paper will hover around 9%. So we'll start seeing foreign investors bring funds into the market, and local players actually will invest in the paper. So we expect that this will be oversubscribed. And we know we've had a lot of news from the U.S. economy on the Trump saying, putting Nigeria out there as a country of concern. And that's what we actually want to be on the lookout, how that those talks will actually affect this paper today. So we're actually looking out to see what will happen in the markets with this issuance.
Because I remember seeing news that Eurobond price actually tumbled on that news, and now we're issuing another one at this point. I guess we'll be looking out for what plays out there. But how does this move fit with within Nigeria's broader debt management and fiscal reform agenda?
So the country actually have a budget deficit, and that's the reason that at this time they've decided to come up with this Eurobond issuance. So about $2.2 billion will actually help us in our budget deficit. We know we've constantly followed up and looked at the reserve. We've seen growing reserve. We're about 42 billion stable FX reserve. So despite the fact that we're trying to do this at the moment, the economy has been really stable in terms of FCY liquidities. We have a lot of flows coming out from the different countries into Nigeria. And with Nigeria being removed from the gray list, that actually caused more inflows to come into the country. So this has actually been in the budget. So, and that's one of the reasons why we're still going ahead to issue the Eurobond paper.
All right. So what are we seeing for this, the plan for the international Sukuk offering there? How might, the current global Islamic capital market environment, that's, talking about rates, liquidity, how will it influence demand for an Nigerian international Sukuk?
So this will be the first time that the country is going to raise a Sharia compliant FCY paper, which is the Sukuk. So we expect $500 million to be raised subsequently, sometime between now and the end of November. So it's actually good for the country. We have other papers where Nigerians actually invest in. So there's the International Islamic Liquidity Management Sukuk, paper which holds the various currencies, Sukuk from Malaysia, from Dubai, and so many other countries. So this will be a very good one for for Africa as a whole and for Nigeria, because it will be the first time you will get the Sharia compliant paper to be out there for local investors to play in. And we know in the international space, the rates for the international FCY Sukuk bond hovers around 4%. So with Nigeria issuing a paper, their first of its kind, and with the rates that we're looking at for that paper, we will see investors come into the market and actually play in our local space. And it will be very good for the economy. And we expect that this bond paper will be oversubscribed as well. It's a good trajectory for us as a country.
Right. And still looking at the international Sukuk offering, what are the likely target investors here? Is it Middle East, Islamic funds, Southeast Asia? What are you expecting?
So for us now, we're looking at the local players. We're looking at Nigerians in diaspora. We're also looking at the Asian communities. We're looking at the Arab communities. Like I said, the instruments, we expect it to be higher than what is currently sourced in the market. So with the attractive rates that the government is trying to issue, we'll see investors actually come into the market and play. They've actually been approaching banks. We've seen Arab nations or countries approaching banks to see where they can place excess liquidity. And with this for the federal government, it will be a successful bond issuance. So we'll see foreign investors that play in that market.
How might the Sukuk price, relative to Nigeria's, outstanding Eurobonds, how will it be comparable to the sovereign Sukuk?
So for now, we've seen Sukuk, other Eurobonds hover around 8% on the 10-year paper. And with what we're looking at for the Eurobond that is going to be issued, we expect that it will go above 8% level. So we're looking at 9%. We expect that the new Sukuk that will be issued, the first of its kind, would also hover around the same levels, because we have these investors in both the local players who are willing to invest both in Sharia compliant instruments and in other conventional bonds. So we don't expect that the rates will be far from each other, and that will actually attract these foreign investors that we're trying to bring to play in our local market. It will boost confidence when we issue this paper at attractive yields higher than what investors can find in the other Arab or Asian markets. So it'll be good for us.
All right. So what indicators should analysts monitor post-issuance? Yield movements, FX stability. What should we be looking at post-issuance?
So we expect that the tenors of the new Sukuk would be around what we can find in the market. Some players are looking for short-term instruments to play in, so we expect that the Sukuk would be between up to 5 years, so which is actually short for the international Sukuk. So we see, so post the Sukuk issuance, we expect to see good rates, we expect to see good yield, we expect to see residents and diaspora residents bring in floats into the market, which is what this administration has been trying to do since the establishment, trying to see how we can get our friends, our partners who are in foreign countries to be able to invest locally in Nigeria, to grow our reserves, to grow the country's resources. And I think that's what investors.
Right, what do you think, we should be doing right now, that's from the government side of things, to make sure that, these offerings actually, have the right demand, going forward? What should we do to manage, the narratives, around the country to make sure that, we have success with most of these offerings?
So what I think the federal government should do, and what I think the president is currently doing, trying to boost confidence in Nigeria for foreign investors, trying to show how healthy the market is, trying to prove transparency, also very important in the fixed income market, in the FX market. When we see the borrowings, we actually see what these funds are being utilized for, especially for the Sukuk. You know, there has to be an underlying asset with which the federal government hope to invest this fund. So we actually need to see what this capital that has been raised are being utilized for. So that will actually boost confidence in the Nigerian economy. And we need to continue to speak well about the administration. We need to be out there saying what is actually happening in the market. Like I mentioned on our reserve, we've grown consistently, and that has been boost to the trading platform, to foreign investors coming to the market. We see a lot of OMO issuance by the central bank, bringing out attractive yields as well, trying to encourage the foreign investors to play in the market, which is very good. And Nigeria being out of the grey list, so we'll expect to see all countries who have not been paying in our markets. We will help to see those investors actually coming to the market at the moment, and which is very good for us.
Right, and I know with the domestic Sukuk, you know, we see those banners there on the road. So I'm wondering what we're going to see with this international Sukuk.
Okay, so for the international Sukuk, I would expect that some of the underlying assets will be mineral resources, things like gold. Nigerian investing in all the other assets that are yielding good return. We've actually seen how these minerals have appreciated over time. So it's actually good for the country to diversify some of its debt, its investment into this natural mineral resource, which is good for the country. So it's not just going to be local construction or infrastructure right now. So we're going to be among the big players playing out outside in the global market, investing in other items that are Sharia compliant. It's very good for us as a country.
All right, I'll definitely be looking out for what those banners will say. Thank you so much. It was great having you on the show. Akwere Okutu is a chief dealer at Lotus Bank. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daddy.